things that I've seen, like I'm a person that I get a thrill out of multitasking. You know, I pour my all into my projects, but I'm one of those people, like I like to brush my teeth and start getting my tea ready, like and walk while I'm walking.
It's valuable.
See,
Like you
it's,
said.
it's like crazy. I'm like, you know, these are just me. 'Cause I don't know if my partner might be able to adjust, but you know, yeah, I just really like, you know, multitasking and getting these different ideas. You know, like someone came to me for a commission, and initially I was like, oh, I don't know if I can make this happen. But then after sitting and letting it marinate, I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to go to the comic book store. I need to look at some comics, find the right comics, you know. But I'm an observer, so I look at a variety of different things and I break it apart, and it could be something small and I'm like, I could use that. I see a car drive by, I could use that color on the canvas, like, you know, and it just kind of starts to come together. So yeah, I try not to dwell too much on it, but I definitely execute with an idea in my mind. I don't create sketches, but the idea is always in my head.
Okay, so you kind of, like you say,
I have all the pieces of the puzzle, and then I'm like, now when I'm confident moving forward, that's when I touch the canvas. So that's actually the last piece.
Does it ever, like, just hearing your example, do you ever get to the canvas and it didn't necessarily come out the way you thought it was going to come out?
Oh man, there's been some nights where I almost tossed the canvas out the window. Like I was like, enough of this. I don't. What was I thinking? You know? And it was just like, you know, like when I created that the Ghostface screen mask, and I was just like, why did I get the idea to make all these swooshes in the back of the canvas on this diamond dust? Who does that? And I was like, you know what? Forget about this. We're not going to even do it. But then that's when I step away. That's when I said, that's all I could. I've done all I can do tonight. Let me step away. Let me rest and recharge, and then be back at it with a fresh, you know, set of eyes. You know, you just gotta really know when to step away from something.
Smart.
Yeah, because you're not forcing it, because if you force it, then it's gonna come out.
That's when I start cutting myself. I cut my leg the other day with a sharp, thinking that I wasn't tired, and
but you was tired.
I was like, you know what?
Falling asleep.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's funny.
We've
We've done
I
enough.
have been knocked out on keyboards too much, man.
We've done enough.
Wake up and there's mad letters on the screen.
Space bars on my head.
Yes.
Oh, how important is like maintaining your personal life versus what you're doing as being a creative? Because I feel like at times we forget to keep that.
You know, it's funny because it's like, I am art is me in a way. Like I want this as much as I want to breathe. So I feel like any company I keep, if it's not conducive to my well-being and my creativity, versus like what I mean is, if I'm pouring into you and you not replenishing my cup, we need not be in each other's company. So that's where I'm at in my life. So when I step away from my work, I don't feel guilty, because I'm like, I'm gonna walk away from this encounter feeling so good. Like when I get back on that canvas, I'm probably gonna be able to paint even longer. You know what I mean? But you know, I know that because, you know, some people have significant others in their lives and stuff like that. That's when you kind of figure out, you know, what works. But for me, it's just me. So it's like,
I can work all day long.
It's all good.
I can work all day long. How big is energy for you?
Oh. Listen, if I walk in a room and it don't feel right, I'm leaving. Like, it's been instances where I can be around someone and I be like, ooh, they don't know this is the last time they gonna see me.
I feel you.
I know what you mean by that.
It just be like so off, or some people who have that victim mentality, and I'm like, the common denominator is you.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, if it don't resonate with my soul, we need not entertain it, because what people don't realize is I love being alone. Everything else is a bonus. Everything else is a bonus. So I mean, like, I don't have to.
You were only child growing up, or
yeah, like, absolutely. I'm the only child in general. Not, so it's like,
you very comfortable by myself. Very comfortable.
Really? So being around other people is just not it sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I think about it like this, especially if to decide to have a partner in your life. I want to enjoy being around you as much as I enjoy being around myself. Like if I don't feel that or more, then it's like, ooh, this is not going to work. And given there's some times when I'm by myself and I'm like, girl, you need to relax. you doing too much, because like, even you get tired of you, like you need to get it together. Like you doing too much. But yeah, so I mean, like the energy is very important. Like if it don't feel right, I'd rather just be alone.
Have you ever had somebody reach out to you and the energy wasn't right, and does that determine if you still take on the work or not?
See, the thing about me, like money is cool. it pays the bills, but
Okay.
I'm not gonna let that determine how I choose to walk in my path. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's been people that, because I enjoy giving back. That's something that I do that resonates with me. That don't mean that I'm just gonna be doing free things.
Or get
So
taken
yeah,
advantage of.
so when people reach out to you, like, I got an opportunity for you, you have to be like, well, what's your budget? Like, you know,
First question.
Best question,
let's discuss that, you know. But you can always tell where, I think that, and a lot of, before I even commit to a project, I actually go to people's pages. I actually see what they have going on. I want to, you know, granted, a lot of
Smart.
people,
should do your
Smart.
research.
yeah, you know,
Yep.
especially if I'm going to interview with a person, if I'm going to let them do anything as it pertains to the brand that I've built. Yeah, I don't like what your brand stands for.
have
It
to be
doesn't
picky.
align with what I'm doing. So at this time, no.
Yeah, that's smart, because I feel like a lot of people do. They'll just go take anything
Oh,
and not realizing that.
Yeah, listen, I tell people all the time, I'd never be that desperate. I'll eat ramen noodles before I just say yes to any and everything. So
Yeah, that's smart, because it's just being aware and being aware of your energy and holding yourself accountable, knowing that you won't thrive around said whatever is going on. But kind of going back a little bit. So as far as these kids, like, as far as the kids, like,